So again, I ask people to take their seats as quickly as they can, please. The service is underway and we do want you all seated. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. Could we have a little quiet in the many rooms that we have? If you're not in a seat, please do take your seats as quickly as you possibly can. It's with great pleasure to officially open the awards banquet for the 32nd Willem C. VIS International Commercial Arbitration Moot. It's been quite a week for everyone. So let me be one of the first to congratulate you all on a magnificent achievement. Your participation has been wonderful. Today's event, across the course of the banquet, we will have a number of announcements and we will announce the winners of a number of awards. We will start with the service and the soup, but shortly my colleague Stefan Kroll will come up and make the announcement to initiate the first award. But please enjoy for the moment and we will be back here shortly. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I please ask you to all take your seats? So, the first award we are going to announce today is the Eric Bergsten Award, which is named after the founder of the VIS MOOT. Without him, we wouldn't be here. He had the foresight to create the entire event, which started 32 years ago with just 11 teams. And you see what has become out of that. From the 11 teams we had at the time, we had 394 teams which submitted both memoranda here, another 152, I think, which submitted their memoranda in Hong Kong. We have a lot of teams we have never seen either in Hong Kong or in Vienna, because they just participate in some pre-moots or just at the selection processes at their universities. So we saw today an excellent final. And I can tell you there were a number of things where I was surprised that students picked them up. And we saw that the tribunal gave them a very hard time, coming up with questions, changing certain things. So could I ask the tribunal to come up and announce the winners? The tribunal has been introduced to you by my colleague Christopher Key already, so I don't have to do that in detail again. But we had an excellent tribunal with the chairman of the Finnish Arbitration Institute, with the colleague Cesar Pereira, who provided some of the information you saw in the government procurement contract, and with Benno Kimmelmann, who is not only a long-standing supporter of the MOOT, former partner in a big law firm, but also coaches a team. And we always try to basically make sure that we have a tribunal there with people who support the MOOT, and really you have seen excellent tribunal. So can I ask you to make the announcement, please?
Dear colleagues and friends, first of all, on behalf of the tribunal, I wish to thank the organizers for giving us the opportunity to be in the final panel. It has really been an honor for us. Then I think for the announcement you are all waiting for. I think for the tribunal this was a very hard decision because all the teams both teams were really excellent. You are all stars. So do remember that when hearing our final decision. But the winner in this competition this year is the University of St. Gallen. May I ask the University of St. Gallen to come on the stage? And may I ask the St. Gallen team to come as well? May we have the St. Magdalene team to join us as well.
Congratulations. Great job. Very well done. Very
Ladies and gentlemen, I do ask that you take your seats because it's very difficult for the service to be waiting on us and providing our meals if everyone is up and standing around. So to enable us to continue, we do ask that you keep your seats. We will be up here shortly again with the next award, but not just yet. We need to wait till a bit more of the meal has been served. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, could I have your attention, please? Ladies and gentlemen, could I ask that you please take your seats because we will do the next announcement. And with the greatest respect, I ask that you all remain in your seats, notwithstanding the announcement, because it is really important that we are able to continue the service. And so it is necessary that we ask people to stay seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the next award is the Michael Sher Spirit of the VIS MOOT Award. Now, for those of you who don't know who Michael was, he is an incredibly important person in the context of VIS and this competition. It was Michael Sher, who was a New York lawyer representing, I think, the New York bar at an UNCITRAL meeting in New York many, many years ago, who, when the question was asked, how do we get young lawyers to know about the CISG, put up his hand and suggested a moot. Now we know that Eric Bergston was the one who then turned that suggestion into a reality, but Michael had a very long and enthusiastic relationship with the moot. He would come to every Vienna moot and he would get one of the t-shirts and he would ask anyone he could find to sign the back of that t-shirt. And for many, 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 many years he collected them. But Michael's love for the moot goes beyond simply that sort of love. It was a genuine excitement for everything that it offered students. So much so that Michael made a contribution to the moot in his will. And it's actually Michael's contribution that allowed us to create the IT system that we use today for this competition. Without that IT system, we could not have a competition of this size. And so Michael's contribution is still a real and very present one. The Spirit of the Moot Award is an award that we give to people who demonstrate those moot values and share the love of the moot, but share the educational aims of the moot, contribute in different ways. Sometimes it's people or teams overcoming obstacles. Other times it's particular individuals who have made contributions to the moot over the many years. And on this occasion, it's the latter. We're using this opportunity to honour someone who has made a great contribution to the moot. This is a gentleman who, recognising that we were missing a cohort of senior common law arbitrators, took it upon himself to corral them, cajole them, and send them to the moot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to announce the winner in just 1 second, but I'll give you another little tip. It's also his birthday today. And so, I think in addition to this award, I think a fitting birthday tribute would be to have 2,150 people sing happy birthday to Lord David Hacking.
Well, it was bad enough to have the shock of hitting 87 years, which I have today. But this has been ameliorated by this lovely gift. I'm afraid I didn't have the puff to blow out the candle, but I have sufficient puff to thank all of you. I first came to the moot in the year 2000, and I've been at most moots since then. I have met many mooties, and they're kind enough to come up to me and identify themselves. But it is a terrific experience, and it's a terrific credit that the directors are now able to cope with no less than 390 teams, and that is magnificent. So I want you to give a very strong applause to the directors of the moot who've carried forward so well the mantle that Eric Bergston gave them. So a big clap. Thank you very much. Thank you, David.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I have your attention again, please? It's time for the next announcement. So as you all know, there are a number of parts to this competition and a number of skills that we hope you as future advocates in international arbitration learn. In addition to the oral hearings, which of course we've just celebrated over the last week, we have the memoranda. The way the memoranda ranking works is that we receive the memoranda, claimant and respondent, and we distribute those memoranda to arbitrators who volunteer to judge them. They get distributed in bundles of 4. So each arbitrator is asked to rank those memoranda, and the memoranda go out a number of times in different bundles to lots of different arbitrators. That's the first round of ranking. Approximately the top 20%, or the ones that have ranked the highest in the top 20%, then go through to the second round ranking. Now, the second round ranking is really quite a significant commitment from those arbitrators who participate in it, because they receive 15 memoranda and they are asked to rank those 1 to 15. This is true of the claimant memoranda or the respondent memoranda. So the teams that will receive awards now are teams who were put into the second round and then have been judged to be the strongest amongst that smaller group a second time. The memoranda for claimant award is named in honour of Peter Sanders. And I would invite the Moot Verein President, Professor Patricia Shaughnessy, to come and make the announcement. Thank you.
So, I can only imagine, no, I can't imagine at all, how many hours went in for each team to create the memo for claimant which they submitted. And then if we multiply those hours times the hourly rate that clever lawyers like you get, and then we multiply it times all the teams that are here, what an enormous amount that bill would be. And the quality of the memos reflects that the new entrants into our arbitration community are bringing really top skills in written advocacy. Now, only a few of the memos have been selected for the prize because by the nature of the prize, it is limited in numbers. And I will read them alphabetically. And as usual, we will request that you hold your applause and jumping up and leaving your tables until the entire list has been read. We'll see whether or not that encouragement is followed. So, starting with the first honorable mention, Aarhus University, Charles University, National University Kiev Mohila Academy, Pontifical Catholic University of Campinas, Universitat Cattolica de Sacro Cuore di Milano, University of Belgrade, University of Cologne, University of Copenhagen, University of Düsseldorf, University of Erlangen-Nuremberg, University of Freiburg, University of Geneva, University of Hamburg, University of Heidelberg, University of Munich, University of New South Wales, University of Ottawa, University of Oxford, University of Passau, hey, guys, quiet, quiet. University of St. Gallen, University of Tartu, University of the State of Rio de Janeiro, University of Zurich, WU Vienna. The third place winner of the claimant memorandum is the University of Lucerne. The second place winner is the National University of Singapore. And there is a tie for the best memorandum for claimant, and we are not going to flip a coin. University of Freiburg. And, hold your applause, University of Vienna. Should we? Now I have to ask my colleagues, Chris, do you want the first place winners to take the stage? You want the first place winners to take the stage? Yes? Okay, may we ask the first place winners to take the stage, to come up? University of Freiburg and University of Vienna. Are you Freiburg?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And do we have University of Vienna coming? Here they come.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat. We are continuing, and we will continue with the next announcement. The Werner Melis Award is the award in the mood for the best memorandum for respondent. And Chris has already explained to you how we rank the memoranda in the mood, so I will not go through that again. The award has been named in honor of Werner Melis. And to also give you a bit of insight of Werner Melis, who he was, when Eric Bergsten started with the idea to organize the VIS MOOT in Vienna, he approached Werner Melis, who was at the time the Secretary General of the Vienna International Arbitral Center in Vienna, and asked him and told him he has the idea about a student competition, but he needs rooms. Werner listened to him and said, well, I have actually no idea what you're talking about and what a moot is. Yeah? It was not so common at the time. We are talking about 32 and more years ago when the idea to organize it in Vienna started. But he said, you know, I like you. I give you the rooms of the Economic Chamber of Austria in Vienna. And that is how the moot started. And when the moot grew, we needed more rooms. And then he helped us with his contacts to get access to the University of Vienna and to continue with the VIS MOOT. And with all the increase in numbers we had to face while the moot was growing and growing. So, I would ask now Miss Lucy Reed to stage to make the announcement for the Werner Melis Award for the Best Memorandum for Respondent.
Good afternoon, everybody. Every claimant leads to a respondent in international arbitration, and it takes a special skill to answer all the facts and the legal submissions in a convincing way in the counter memorial. Oral advocacy truly is a tightrope act, and it's very important. But cross my heart and hope to die, I have always told my associates and students that written advocacy is critical in international arbitration. It is lasting in international arbitration. So it's an honor for me to announce the best written memoranda for respondent in the 32nd VIS. Now I know there's no point in my asking you not to applaud. But I do ask that you be quick. First, I will go over the honorable mentions in alphabetical order. Aarhus University, Bucharest Law School, Carlos III University, the Chinese University of Hong Kong, the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul, Goethe University, Frankfurt am Main, the Kiev National Taras Shevchenko University, the London School of Economics, the National University of Singapore, O.P. Jindal Global University, the University of Belgrade, the University of Bern, the University of Freiburg, Germany, the University of Fribourg, Switzerland, the University of Hamburg, the University of Hanover, the University of Helsinki, the University of Kiel, the University of Lucerne, the University of Munich, the University of Osnabrück, the University of Sao Paulo, Largo, San Francisco, the University of St. Gallen, the University of Stockholm, the University of Vienna, the University of Warsaw, the University of Zagreb, the University Pantheon Assas, that's Paris 2, and WU Vienna. Congratulations to you all. Third place, University of Sydney. Second place, Pontifical Catholic University of Sao Paulo. And the winner of the Werner Mellis Award for Best Memorandum for Respondent is the University of New South Wales. Congratulations to all.
Can the team come up, please?
For New South Wales, right?
Richard.
New South Wales. Or all of us. Shall we ask for? Oh, here they come.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I ask you once more to take your seat, please? This time is not to announce an award. This time is the result, what should have come out of the case. So a lot of you have asked me about what do I think, who should win and who should prevail on certain points. But to be honest, I don't know. So what I did, or what we did, we asked you who should prevail on different questions. And we sent out a questionnaire to a lot of arbitrators, to a lot of students, and we received considerable amount of feedback. And I now asked Tobias Strecker, who did all the background work for that, to tell you how the majority of you thinks the various questions should be decided. Toby, floor is yours.
So everyone, over the last 7 months, more than 2,500 mooties, over 1,200 coaches of more than 300, or of exactly 384 teams have researched some of the most pressing questions of human mankind, like, is a hydrogen plant a good? Is it a service? Is it a construction? And over the last couple of days in Vienna alone, you have held 831 pleadings in which you have discussed these questions. And as Stefan just mentioned, today we wanted to make use of this intellectual resource and ask you, how would you decide the case? And we want to thank everyone who filled in the surveys over the last days. And these are the results, these are your answers, how all of you think the question should be decided. The first question that most of you had to discuss was, is the mediation requirement a matter of jurisdiction or is it a matter of admissibility? And there the views were actually quite clear. Most of you thought this is a matter of admissibility and it's not a matter of jurisdiction. The next question we asked was, should the tribunal have a discretion to move on with the arbitration even though the mediation requirement is not strictly fulfilled? And also here, a small margin favored that the tribunal does have such discretion, and interestingly, arbitrators were much more flexible on that. Most of the arbitrators thought this is not a strict requirement. The next question we asked was, should the tribunal move on with the arbitration? We have good news for everybody who arbitrated here. You will earn your fees. Most respondents thought that the arbitral tribunal should move on and hear the case in arbitration. Bad news for the mediation moot that will mediate the problem, but that's life. The next question was, what about the internal communication of claimants? Should that be allowed into evidence? You had very clear views on that, and most of you thought that should not be admitted into evidence. Nonetheless, all of you cited from it. I'm not sure how that goes together. Next question, should the tribunal exclude Exhibit C7, respondents without prejudice offer? Here most of you thought that this should not be excluded but admitted into evidence. An interesting question, I was a little bit surprised, was, does the CISG apply to hydrogen plants? And even though you spent 7 months working on this issue, you still haven't really come up with any useful solution to that problem. It was almost exactly 50-50. By the smallest margin possible, 49.49%, if you average out all the likelihood that you estimated, we could say the CISG is not applicable. Then there was the question, does the choice of equitarian law include the CISG? You could read the commentaries, and you have all cited from Professor Schlechtrim-Schwenzer. Congratulations, most of you were of the view that includes the CISG. And the last question was, did the parties exclude the CISG by excluding conflict of law rules? Most of you didn't find that a very convincing argument, so that was not seen as an exclusion of the CISG. So that is how you would decide the case. You see, on some of the questions, it was still quite controversial. They weren't really solved in the end, but that should only motivate you to come back next year. If you thought that participating in the VIS MOOT was one of the best experiences in your legal studies, then I can only recommend you come back as a coach, and that might be even the better experience. Thank you very much.
So, may I have your attention once more? So don't stand up. Remain seated. There's one award outstanding, and that is the Martin Domke Award. And the Martin Domke Award is the award for the best oralist. And I have the pleasure to announce the Secretary General from the Finnish Arbitration Institute, Henrik, to read out the names. I didn't try to pronounce his family name correctly because he still thinks it's an honor to read that out. But when you see the list of names you get there, it's difficult. So please be all quiet. If there's something which sounds familiar, vaguely familiar, like your own name, please come up later on and try to verify whether it was you or a distant relative from a different country. Hendrik.
So, good afternoon, everyone. It's my great pleasure to announce the individual recognitions for the speakers, for the recognitions awarded to the speakers this year. We'll start with the honorable mentions for the best oralists. I will read through a very long list of names, so let's hold with the applause until the end. And please forgive me when I mispronounce your names or the names of your universities. I am, after all, Finnish, and we aren't exactly known for pronunciation. But right, this being said, let's start. So the first honorable mention goes to Amalie Biskar Thomassen from Aarhus University. From the same university, also Sarah Terslov. Then American University, from American University, Laurel Cunningham. From the Australian National University, Oscar Pearce. From the Benjamin N. Cardozo School of Law, Jeff Rula. And from the same university, Sarah Brumet. Then, from Bond University, Mathis Thibault Lebert. From Bucerius Law School, Laetita Pfeiffer. And again, from the same university, Mary Sundman, excuse me. From Case Western Reserve University, Jim Fitzgibbon. From the same university, Nathaniel Summers. And still continuing with the same law school, Vanessa Pilatova. Chinese University of Hong Kong, Kim Ah-jin. And from the same university, Molly Lee. From Erasmus University, Sakhumutsi Fu. And from the same university, also Stella Köhler. Then from Federal University of Bahia, Anna Caroline Santos Freitas. From the Federal University of Minas Gerais, Julia Fonseca Salomao. From the Federal University of Paraná, Eduarda Taborda Skibinski. From the same university, Laura Raquel Silveira. Fordham University, Milo Young. Then from Humboldt University, Helena Toiringa. And from the same university also Tula Marie Odstrotseng. Then from Institut de Droit de Affaires Internationales, so Paris 1, Cairo University, Salma Gharra. From London School of Economics, Helene Lee. From Mackenzie Presbyterian University, Julia Marenko-Dumans Emello. From the same university, Maria Beatriz Ribeiro Ramos. From McGill University, Elora Deering. From National Academy of Legal Studies and Research, NALSAR, Megan Sequeira. From the same university, Srikari Ammanamanchi. From the National Law University, Jodhpur, Nitin Kishore. From the same university, Paridhi Gupta. From National University of Rosario, Lola Rodriguez. From National University of Singapore, Elson Law. From the same university, Isaac Joseph Heng Zi Rui. Still continuing with the same university, Liav Zuo Yi Julia. From OP Jindal Global University, Sriram Chokaligam Arunakalam. That went probably wrong, but from the Pasmani Peter Catholic University, Katalin Kalnoki. From Pontifical Catholic University of Campinas, Helena Rocha. From Saarland University, Alyssa Luck. From the same university, Lisa Vita Landes. From Sofia University, St. Clement Orydzki, Dian Stavrev. From the same university, Joanna Chernalova. Then from Southern Methodist University, Cameron Bonk. From the Stetson University, Flora Patel. From Strathmore University, Davina Nelima Voe. From the University of Queensland, Emily Johns. From the very same university, also Lucas Sherrington. From Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México, Francisco Lobato Somuano. From Universidade Católica Portuguesa, Maximilian Samuel Falkberger. From Università degli Studi di Milano, Benedetta Lucchi. From University College London, Kai Min Hee. From the University of Belgrade, Katarina Luledica. From the University of Bern, Jana Clarissa Haller. From the University of Bielefeld, Lucy Marie Schulz. From University of Bonn, Eva Stöppler. And from the same university also Frederick Willi Hennig. From the University of Bucharest, Svenja Alexia Papirovsky. From the University of Canterbury, New Zealand, Alexandra Crampton. From the University of Cologne, Elisha McPherson. From the University of Copenhagen, Ida Rydell Thorsen. From the University of Düsseldorf, Lena Marie Meister. From the University of Edinburgh, Robert Sitza. From the University of Freiburg, Moritz Huber. And from the same university, Svenja Schneider. From the University of Fribourg, Vivian Molletta. From the University of Göttingen, Erik Mann. And from the same university, Ronja Valerie Steiner. From the University of Greifswald, Josephine Angela Lange. And from the same university, Liv Jarle Fischer. From the University of Hamburg, Paula Westing. And from the same university, Sergei Kurzinski. From University of Heidelberg, Louise Carla Hamsch. From the University of Helsinki, Amanda Vilén. And from the same university, Tuukka Hörkkö. From the University of Indonesia, Anindita Kusumobio. From the same university, Madeleine Chloe Pardin. From the University of Lapland, Henri Kaarti. From the University of Law, London Moorgate, Hannah Phillips. From the University of Mannheim, Lukas Nussar. From the University of Munich, Laura Tabea Emmerich. From the University of New South Wales, Nathan Roberts. From the University of Notre Dame, Australia, Elizabeth Mackenzie. From the University of Osnabrück, Nele Ossenbrücken. From the University of Oxford, Isabel Sim Yun Yi. From the University of San Diego, Leah Schumacher. From the University of St. Gallen, Alexander Stadelman. And from the same university, Sofia Truniga. From the University of Sydney, Alice Shan. From the same university, Noam Antonir. Still from the same university, Peter Taurian. From the University of the State of Rio de Janeiro, Bruno Hermes. From the same university, Deborah Kornreich. And still from the same university, Luisa Borges. From the University of Tübingen, Sophie Lonkar. From the University of Turku, Anni Kallio. From the University of Versailles, Paris, Andy Haddad. And from the same university, Emna Samti. From the University of Vienna, Jonas Schneider-Beron. From the same university still, Varvara Artiuk. From the University of Warsaw, and now this will not go as it should, Jan Zirinski. From the University of Würzburg, Felicitas Göttler. From the same university, Sonja Neuburger. From WY Vienna, Javier Castillo Janšek. And still from the same university, Julia Rauhofer. Let's give a big round of applause for all the individuals that I just mentioned. Now let's move on to the Martin Domke Award. So the third place goes to Aman Mohammed from the University of New South Wales. The second place goes to Madelits Brett from the University of Queensland. And then the winner of the Martin Domke Award for the best oralist is Sonia Ram from the University of New South Wales. Let's give a big applause. Yes. And I ask the winner of the Martin Domke Award to come up stage. So Sonia Ram, if you're still here, please come to the stage with us.
Okay.
nightmare. Huh?
It is.
Could our first, second and third awardees come up to the stage? Sonia? Yep. Madeleine, are you here as well? Yep, she's coming. Excellent, thank you. So we'll do a photo with all three of them.
May I shortly ask for your attention, please? We have not finished yet. Please, I would ask for your attention. Thank you. Now that we come to an end of this week, I think it is important for you and for us that you stay connected to the VIS MOOT. And one association that helps the VIS MOOT to stay connected and that you come in the future years as a coach, as an arbitrator, is the Moot Alumni Association. I welcome on stage its Vice President Johannes Warnschaffe.
Dear Mooties, what a moment. What a marvelous audience. You did it. And it is my pleasure to congratulate you on behalf of the Moot Alumni Association. We look back on probably the most intense week of the entire year. Nothing of this would have been possible without the help of tremendous support of dedicated people. The VIS MOOT directors, Patricia Natal, Professor Stefan Kroll, Professor Christopher Key. The VIS MOOT president, Professor Patricia Shaughnessy. The FAI, Secretary General Henrik Sarkopi, and Chair of the Board, Heidi Mercaletier, and the whole team. Birgit Steinkellner and her marvelous administrative team. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of arbitrators, coaches, supporters of their Mooties, their friends and families, who endured radio silence before the memo was due. So on behalf of the Moot Alumni Association, let's have another round of applause for all those supporters. Coming to you, dear Mooties, warmest congratulations on succeeding in maybe the single most exciting adventure of your studies. Your participation in the VIS MOOT will have an incredible impact on your life, professionally, but also personally. You will have shaped friendships, contacts that will guide you through your entire career. After each of all those weeks, you have grown immensely. You truly are the next generation's gold standard. Today or tomorrow, I invite you to pause for a second. Look back. Let it sink in what you have achieved over the past months. Remember how you were sitting there in your first hearing, thinking, will I stand it? Will there be questions? And I tell you this, you stood it. There is so much to be proud of. So in this sense, in this spirit, welcome to the family. On behalf of the Moot Alumni Association, welcome to the Moot family. You are now part of an incredible network, and we very, very much invite all of you to stay connected, to join the VIS MOOT Alumni Association, and to see what is there ahead of you. On a very personal note, 10 years ago, I was sitting there where you are sitting right now. And hopefully, many of you will pass on the torch, join our core team. There's so much to experience and so much to see. Welcome to the family. Stay in touch with us. Here's to you, Mooties, and here's to the VIS MOOT. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I have your attention, please? So I ask again for your quiet. I appreciate that you are all starting to move around the hall, but I do need your attention before we close. So please give your attention to me and stop the chatter. Ladies and gentlemen, Johannes very kindly made reference to the work that the directors do, but the work, a lot of the work that gets done in this mood often goes unnoticed, but it is absolutely essential. And on behalf of the VIS MOOT directors, the first thank you we want to make is to Birgit and the team for everything that they have done. Truly fabulous. The moot is quite an operation. It's quite involved and it costs a lot of money to put on. As you can imagine, from an event like today, it doesn't come cheap. And so we are very, very grateful for the sponsors that we have within the moot. And I would like to single out one in particular and then reference another one in a moment. But first of all, I'd like to thank particularly the FAI, because fantastic teams to work with, fantastic rules. Thank you very much for everything that you have contributed. And another great supporter and sponsor of the Moot is the Singapore International Arbitration Centre, whose rules we will be using next year. Thank you. It is customary that we also announce the next set of rules after that. And recognising that we want to ensure that as many areas of the world are covered as possible, on this occasion, the decision has been in favour of the Cairo Regional Centre for International Commercial Arbitration. So they will be the rules after Singapore, after the ICDR. Ladies and gentlemen, there's really only one thing left to do, and that is to officially close the 32nd annual Willem C. VIS International Commercial Arbitration Moots. You've all already been declared alumni, which is true and proper. Thank you very much on behalf of the directors. We hope you have gained from this experience, and we really enjoy the week. So thank you very much. I declare the moot closed.